You'll just
I'll call the meeting to order for the Innovations Committee. Madam Chair, take the roll.
Senator Rackberry is present. Senator Lowe is present. Senator Watson is present. Representative Cochran is present. Representative Sapicki is present. Pardon me. Representative Haston is present. Representative Slater is present. Commissioner Reynolds is present. Christy McIntyre, Madam Chairman,
Present.
is present. Madam Chairman, you have 9 members present.
We detect a quorum. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. I think all the members have been given a copy of the report. Of course, the report has recommendations that our committee met in the summer and fall, and I believe 3 times. And this just kind of highlights some of the recommendations that came out of the committee that we met. They are cited to the members that made the recommendation. Then after the recommendation, if any member agreed or wanted to be added on to that recommendation, they were given the opportunity before the final report was drafted. So you will see that, Senator White recommended this and this, but then, I'm not saying he did, but Leader Cochran may wanted to sign on to one of my recommendations and he had the opportunity. So it would be cited as Senator White and Leader Cochran agreed with this recommendation. First and foremost, I want to thank the department for writing this report. Commissioner Reynolds, your department was excellent and wonderful to work with. Thank you very, very much. And to the department, thank you so much, because I know this took a lot of effort and time. And then my second thing is to Jessica Bryant, my research analyst, and Carly. They gave a lot of input on the report. They made sure everything was correct and worked with the department. So thank you very, very much to the research analysts from the House and the Senate. Of course, there is a sign-on sheet to this report, and if you agree, and like I say, the report is just recommendations, and again, you don't have to agree with every recommendation in this report because it is cited to the member and legislator that wanted this in the report. So by signing this report, it's not saying that you agree with all the recommendations, but that you say that the report is correct and cited to the correct legislator. Are there any comments or questions on the report? Senator Lowe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. There's just, there's a lot in the report, and most of us have had time to kind of talk about the task force back home and with our colleagues now that we've been back in legislative session. So I just wanted to take a quick moment in case I get hit by a bus next week or something and I'm not here, to highlight 3 of the items in the report that I think after speaking back home and speaking with educators that I think really have merit, that I want the DOE and us to really keep in the forefront. One of those is the idea of what we heard concerning low-performing administrators and that relationship to performance in schools. And the idea that maybe a licensure, administrative licensure at that level that has some sort of accountability attached to it. I'm getting more and more traction with that when I talk to people back on the ground. So I wanted to kind of keep that in the forefront. The other thing was SCORE had began having conversations with me about how do we incentivize high-performing teachers to go into low-performing situations? And would a pilot that kind of nests itself in what we have now approved, allowing teacher merit pay in the state of Tennessee, would a pilot program to incentivize that move based on being assessed by performance in that low performing setting and trying to bring that up be something that we could look at in the future? Clearly, from a budget angle, this wasn't the year for us to kind of pick up that mantle and run with it. But I really think we have an opportunity there to take some of our best educators and put them in those low performing areas under the premise of merit pay and really make it very, very clear that growth is the goal in those particular settings. And I know many of you had great recommendations, and I appreciate everybody, chiming in on that. There was one more that I'm kind of flipping through here, trying to remind myself, which I was that had come to mind that was getting a lot of traction back home, and I really think that was it was related to just the flexibility at the high school level of the workday and how that couples with on the CTE side, another budgetary question. The industry certifications that are often being picked up by our CTE programs and how that's growing, and that cost is continuing to expand. So I think there's some really solid things in here that make for good reforms we can look at to improve education in the state of Tennessee, because we have put a lot of capital and a lot of funding into public education. And now I think we're getting to the point where we've addressed the big elephants in the room, teacher pay, the things that often get the most vitriol, but a surgical approach to investment now in the state of Tennessee might reap greater returns for our students and student outcomes and student success. And I think several of those ideas exist in the report. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Lowe. Are there any other comments, questions? Got a motion? Second? Yes, Leader Cochran.
Thank you. I guess I'll take a little personal privilege as the co-chair here and just thank everyone for being a part of it. I think it's been a very beneficial process. We brought a lot of different stakeholders into these conversations. I thought they were very detailed. It wasn't just a ceremonial summer study. It was a study that went all through the fall, and I guess kind of partly through session here as well. But again, I thought the discussions were very productive. Our state has made gains in education, but I think the point was made. Let's not rest on our laurels. What else do we need to do differently? Just because something has worked in the past doesn't mean that it continues to work. And so, how do we continue to be innovative in the state and to make sure that we're producing the best students? And I appreciate all of y'all being a part of that process. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Are there any other questions, discussions, comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, take the vote.
Senator Ackberry. Passes. Senator Lowe.
Aye.
Votes aye. Senator Watson.
Aye.
Votes aye. Representative Cochran.
Aye.
Votes aye. Representative Sapicki.
Aye.
Votes aye. Representative Haston.
Aye.
Votes aye. Representative Slater.
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Reynolds.
Aye.
Votes aye. Christy McIntyre. Chairman White.
Aye.
Votes aye. Madam Chairman, you have 8 ayes and 1 present not voting.
With 8 ayes, the report is adopted. Thank you so much, committee. I know we probably had a gazillion things we could have done in the fall and in the summer, but thank you for taking your time and really trying to help the students and teachers and the process of education in the state of Tennessee. We really appreciate it. Are there any other comments, questions before we adjourn? Motion adjourned. We're adjourned.